Hello, welcome to Roundtable 9, September 29th, 2016. Sorry, technical difficulties there. Okay, so welcome. Online business versus face-to-face. Three biggest challenges, three biggest gains. The original 21st century vision business roundtable. A New York City, New York Gold Tours meetup. Broadcasting independently 45 minutes once a month, talking about business relevancies from a meeting room at the Science, Industry, and Business branch of the New York Public Library on Madison Avenue, New York City. This one from the atrium at Battery Park City, NYC. Thanks for dropping in. I'm host Loretta Jones, CEO of New York Gold Tours. Once we begin promoting these 21st century vision, social media inclusive events, they'll accommodate 9 business leaders who RSVP on meetup.com to share local to global on location with me to Periscope and the web. Come to one or come to all. I'll start each of 3 segments with talking points that I've written out into a few minute sections that invite experts or anyone concerning business to join in, then a 10-minute discussion following each segment. Later, use video of the roundtable to structure talks in your own organizations. Free on Periscope, Skype, YouTube, and Google+. Join the conversations on Facebook and Pinterest. Follow New York Gold Tours on Twitter. Definitions. Tough. Fortitude to persevere forward in what is right according to general and worldwide standards of greater good and one's own vision of individual goals. Being. State of presence within a group or team camaraderie or in sync with the place and space. Betterment. What's best in any particular parameters. First talking points. To toughen up. Having to physically get from your office or home to an outside appointment or into the office to meet an incoming appointment, especially in New York, builds the character stuff we've come to know as tough, though we don't often stop to notice it or regard its existence. The rigmarole of having to get there builds a momentum that may push business forward, with all the thought processes that go along with it. The creativity, diligence, determination, etc., getting a workout. Even getting there by car gives sense of style, happening, or defunct, a push. You trudge up the subway steps, rush in and out of obstacles, make it there across leaps and bounds, and before you know it, you're subconsciously processing superpower, internalization, no matter how surprised you secretly are that you indeed did get there. How much of that gets lost in transmission when with online business? Online business conferences or negotiations may be much more civilized in terms of travel and predisposition to position. But what when you have to amble down the hall, power on a device, or pick up a cue? When product doesn't have to get to store shelves, middlemen bear no pass off, trucks don't have to truck, society loses perhaps some of that actual rugged, get-it-doneness that's been America's since the Industrial Revolution. But the spirit of accomplishment must still be there, but can't we argue a watered-down version with a sense of achievement that's much more sparse, more specific, more focused, leaving a nothingness to contend with, or perhaps a faster moving on to the next thing? A quicker pace of business, perhaps? Faster potential, growth potential? How sophisticated this sense of achievement might be, perhaps, that's to come of the online business age. Online business age. But betterment seems goal to the 21st century, inevitable by things like global warming, transparency, race, and equity. Learning most times comes best from actively engaging. I remember reading in the Bible, teach your child as you walk along the road the ways of life. And that's something I appreciate more as I live. I look back and see the value in the things I learned along the journey, as we are children of the world. When we live in a way that the journey teaches, how rich, how spectacular, how vivid. We don't want to lose the way of the stories when soon packages are to be dropped from drones in the sky, and the way of storks already hearken to a time before science over sentiment. What will come of you won't believe what happened on my way into the city. And when a little brown package arrives right from the manufacturer, will other senses of team or involvement be heightened instead? A direct player sort of phenomenon? How does the sense of accomplishment in simply getting there that's brought to face-to-face exchanges compare with online exchanges of similar proportions, and what are some outcomes of both? Before we discuss that, a quote by Barack Obama found on brainyquotes.com. Our brand of democracy is hard, but I can promise that a year from now, when I no longer hold this office, I'll be right there with you as a citizen, inspired by those voices of fairness and vision, of grit and good humor, and kindness that have helped America travel so far. Sorry, he said travel so far. So that was the quote. And now 10 minutes to discuss online business versus face-to-face. First talking points, when business toughens us up or simmers us down. And so now anyone using the video can pause for 10-minute discussions. And we can start our live discussions on Periscope. So today's tragedy in New Jersey, however much our hearts are with the victims, may serve not to have us ditch the commute altogether, but definitely speaks of our ways of getting there, which was my first topic segment of talking points, and but hopefully more to just of maybe slowing down, but as much as our hearts are with the victims. So is anyone joining that would like to join the discussion? Okay, so I haven't promoted these roundtables yet properly, but we will in the future. So for now, I'm just building the structure, and this way you can check on NewYorkWorldTours.com for transcripts of these roundtables and see the content and see the openness and the fresh ideas, and then hopefully spread the word and people will join in more as we go on. Okay, so on to the second talking points. And now anyone using the video can rejoin the video for the second talking points, being there. Then there must be a lot to be said about the shoulder rubbing and the being in the same space, environment once parties arrive. Face to face, you're sharing the surrounds, the conditions, the parameters, and condolences. Those bond. In online exchanges, you're sharing device surprise of, this thing is working, varieties that I believe don't ever fully go away, no matter how subliminal. Not just that, but the sense of command over a gadget or technology, even just being in the presence of some, is astute. Being there in both situations becomes dependent on the exchange variety and affects the quality of the business then conducted, as well as the perception of the business to conduct. Don't you think it then important to check in regularly, consciously, to assess what's best to make sure trajectories are according and lined up to what's best, not just how things seem? Before we discuss that, a quote from Joe Biden found on brainyquote.com. We're going to be okay because of the American people. They have more grit, determination, and courage than you can imagine. So now 10 minutes to discuss online business versus face-to-face. Second talking points. What does just being present, online or in person, do for you and the overall business exchange? Okay, so those using the video, can just pause now for 10 minutes discussion. And on Periscope, we can have our live discussions if anyone would like to join in and share their views on business online versus face-to-face. What does just being present do for you and the overall business exchange? I know being comfortable in your own skin is as important for an organization as it is for individuals. If you think in terms of growth and just slow growth versus the mergers and acquisitions type of growth where in an instant companies can acquire the skills or the business branches that they didn't have before, instead of the old ways of like working toward through product and development, just the organic occurrences of expansion and areas to venture into that happen when a company is really good at something or demand needs to be met. So now with all the venture capitalists and how much they love the quick and easy growth where they can just fund companies that can grow quickly, I think maybe more contracting out and that kind of thing is used rather than developing manufacturing plants and stuff like that. So I think probably overseas is more apt to happen than local, and so the what's best is probably too soon to tell. The verdict's probably out, still out on that, but I don't know if there's any other opinions out there. Opinions? No. Okay. So I'll go on to the third talking points. Okay. So on the video, you can come back on to the third talking points. Welcome back. Final talking points. Sales work storage. No matter how you go about your days, hopefully with semblances of healthy balances of both online and face-to-face business, progressions of technology offer to impact every aspect always. The choice will increasingly be yours on how to conduct sales, how to work, how to store, and on and on. Will you be on the cutting edge of communications, for example? Having your staff available in an instant, while at the same time looking out for their best interests of downtime, off time, qualities built into a commute, to a newspaper read, to a glance from eye to eye to a picture on the wall and back, etc. Will any of those be your concerns? So before we talk on our last discussion, a quote from Bill Gates found in Random House Webster's quotationary by Leonard Roy Frank. Email is a unique communication vehicle for a lot of reasons. However, email is not a substitute for direct interaction. 10 minutes now to discuss online business versus face-to-face. Third talking points. Will you assess each aspect of your business to determine what's best? The newest technology or old school standards and means? Okay, so now you can can pause the video if you're using the video for your final third discussion. And on Periscope, we can hopefully have a discussion. Here's some viewpoints. And let's see. So I know I can offer, we all want quick growth, and we love the quick money score of business doing well. And I'd love to see my tours offered in not just New York, but in California Gold Tours, Ohio Gold Tours, Washington, D.C. Gold Tours. But I understand my stronger values in responsible growth and steadfast learning. And so I'll be taking it all in as a company and moving forward reflectively. Anyone else want to share? Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining in, for watching the broadcast, and I hope to see you again next month. Take care. Best of luck. Let me show you around a quick moment. Sorry, you don't need to be seeing me the whole time. Okay, very nicely from the atrium in Battery Park City, New York. Okay, ciao.